What's going on, beautiful people out there in YouTube land? What it is? How's everybody feeling out there tonight? Hopefully, everybody is well as we go into this holiday season. All right, all right. So, as always, I want to thank everybody for taking this journey with me on your own. And even if you don't necessarily know a lot of this information, at least you're keeping an open mind, which is the biggest thing. Now, one of the things I also want to make mention of, guys, is that there are multiple. Somebody said there's no sound. Should be sound. Let me double check my mic. Check one. Check, check. How my sound out there? How's the sound? Somebody said there's no sound. I guess if you can't hear me, you can't answer. Sound is choppy. All right. Let's see here. All right. How about now? Got sound. Okay, we hear you. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you guys for that. So there's lots of ways of moving in the private and the public. And so the big thing here is just knowing that you have to find your own way. Okay, there's no perfect way to get the things done. You don't have to do everything mentioned on my videos. As a matter of fact, if you don't like it, do your own. But as I tell everybody, always vet people's information, even my own. Okay, and stay away from people always trying to rip you off with expensive packages and buy all their books and programs and this and that. It's not really that complicated. So looks like there's a lot of you guys already in here. Okay, everybody's like, sounds fine, sounds good. Okay, awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Are you broadcasting on multiple platforms? No, it's mostly just on YouTube. I mean, I do have like TikTok and Instagram and whatever else. Maybe one day when I can link all of them into, through here, which I'm on StreamYard, and then I can send it to the other ones. I will do that in sometime in the future. Right now, I guess there's like only like one or two other places that they can do it, but I do not have accounts or platforms with those other places. All right. So once again, I just want to wish everybody season greetings and happy holidays and all that other good stuff, good jazz and whatever else. All right. So let's see who we've got in the comments, what's going on, and then we will jump into the information for tonight. And feel free to ask questions. Feel free to throw a shout out from where you guys are, you're hailing from. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. All right. All right. So I'm just going to put up a couple of randoms here. Sergio, what's going on? Budokan 1, what's going on? We got Stop the Madness. Stop the Madness. What is up? What's up is the fact that like the world is a crazy place. The world is a crazy place right now. So everybody, make sure you take care of you and yours. Skunk, what's going on? Leslie Thompson, hey there, Badwolf. Hello to you. Eric S says, cheers. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a beverage right about now in all actuality. Though I have been trying to reduce that greatly. You know what I mean? Holidays, it's easy to fall into a hole. Let's have one. So everything in moderation. Kat Johnson says, howdy. All right. We got Crypto Talk sounds good. Okay. It's understanding world. We can hear. All right. Yvette says it's fine. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's see what else we got here. Might be their connection. Yeah, it could be. Could be. I just bought a new mic, so it should be good. Everybody, yep, Dylan says everybody push the like, please. I'd appreciate that. It helps to keep the people out there who want to put negative thumbs down. That's one of the things, too. that gets me is like, I don't understand why people want to watch my videos and then put a thumbs down. Like, if you don't like it, just go to another channel, or if you don't like me or my advice or my information, that's fine, but a lot of people out there, they just really want to, I guess, mess with you because it makes them feel better or look good or just anything to throw dirt at you. Well, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm okay with that. But it's all really about the knowledge. I don't really care about people liking me or this, that, and the other. I'm just showing you guys where to find some knowledge so that you guys can then go and live a better life and do things a little bit, easy, make your life easier. Corrupted, what's going on? Good attendance. Jason, love your content. Appreciate you as well, bro. Eric's Californian. Yes, yes. It's all about the children. Greetings, greetings. What do we got here? World ain't crazy. It's the folks in it or on it. However that goes. Yeah. You're right. The world is, but your explanatory statement is gold, 4 stars. Yeah. So the truth about the explanatory statement, and I said this in a couple of videos before, is that, I didn't merely just create it completely from scratch. I actually had a guy in, I think it was in Maryland or Maine. When I first started my channel, he wanted to help me out. So he gave me a lot of information to get started. And I just added to it over the years and made it to what it is. But thank you for believing. And then, like I said, now we just kept chop, and we found out what the code is for the state citizen. So, between that and the explanatory statement, you're good. Like I said, the explanatory statement is not mandatory. Okay, it's a really good nicety to make sure that the agent processing it knows what it is. You can use it in court or wherever else you want to go. Educational information only. Operate how you want to do. You do not have to take my advice. But so now that we've proven these things, yeah, it's amazing that they're not, see, it's not so much that they're trying to, how should I say this, hide it, but it's the fact that they have no legal obligation to help you learn anything about the private side, because the private side is just that, the private. They are in charge of the public. That's where they administer. So King of the North, Howlin' Wolf. Yeah, what's going on? We got Floridians in the house. Freedom 74. Northern Carolina, California, my bad. Ariana. Irrevocable trust. I heard you can make your other trust your trustee. Is that true? So can you have another trust, another entity essentially be your trustee? Well, I'm going to say I'm not a trust expert on there. I would defer you to either Fearless Floyd or Knowledge Well Media. There's a couple other people, but from what I understand, you can have another entity be your trustee. So, but don't quote me on that one. Continue to do your research. I'll double check, but I've heard people doing that before, but I never actually seen it written somewhere. But you also have to remember, though, if you're doing like a domestic trust that's going to be registered, you do have to follow United States rules, So, but if you're doing something foreign and private, there's a lot more leeway out that way. Greetings, dear Wolf. Maggie here. Maggie is here. Good vibes. How's it going? We're all trying to make it. This is a true statement right here. So surprised that YouTube allows this content. Well, the whole thing is that, first of all, when I did have my channel originally, they did shut down some stuff because some stuff does violate it. And anything that I talk about, if it's too much, then yeah, they'll just pull the video. But in general, this is all education and entertainment purposes. So nothing here is to be construed as legal advice or this or that, because you have to have your disclaimers, because we're not licensed in law here or anything like that. So this is just entertainment. So, but yeah, people are grown if they want to use it, and depending on how you use it, is really the thing. But yeah, I mean, a majority of it, like nothing I'm showing is nothing you guys can't find on the internet. Now, am I saying necessarily trust everything on Google or whatever else. No, definitely not. Because, you know, people, some things are subject to interpretation, we'll say. But like, okay, let's talk about like the passport, you know, 09 all code. That was a big hidden thing. Everybody was looking for it. Well, you can literally go online to the Foreign Affairs Manual. It's right in there. And it doesn't say that this cannot be used or that this is top secret or private. So all these things are just remedies. They have to have remedies out there, and you can use them, and you're supposed to use them correctly. See, they don't mind you using and doing most of these things, if not all of them. It's just the people out there who abuse them or think that, oh, because I've got a passport that says I'm on the do not detain list or the watch list, that suddenly I can just do whatever I want to do. That's really the problem. But see, they have to allow you to have your private side. I mean, think about it. Wealthy people move in trusts all the time. You know what I mean? So everyone here, when we were kids, we heard about somebody being a trust fund baby, or Walmart, was it Sam Walton? You know, all their money's in trust. So it's not like any of this is illegal. None of this is illegal. I don't. That's one of the reasons why, even for me, I stay away from certain processes where you're trying to get money from them. You know, I might show you guys some stuff that I came across or that was given to me or whatever else, but that's where I stop, because I don't want their money. I don't want none of their stuff, because that's where they'll try to go after you, is if you're doing too much, as my mom would say. Miss True, due to the source. Yay, first live notification. Yeah, you know, that's another thing I found out about this, is that you know, a lot of them, Mr. Nothing, what's going on? Peace. Is that YouTube does not show, they do not notify everybody on your list that I'm going live or that you're going live. They don't do that. They send it out to only a certain number of people, which is crazy to me. But it makes sense, because it's like a marketing money thing. So they have certain algorithms that they allow for certain people to be notified, but not everybody gets it. Isn't a citizen a debt slave? Yes, but there are different types of citizen. Like a state citizen is the same name that the founding fathers went by, and so that is considered, you are a citizen of the republic. Now, I really don't like the word citizen whatsoever. I mean, not at all. I really like national, but state citizen is the correct term for you being loyal to the republic of just your particular state. So when you're loyal to all the states as a state citizen, then you're in what's known as being a national, or a national of the United States of America. So yeah, I try to shy away from that if I can. But yes, a citizen is a debt slave to the states. You can be a federal citizen. You can be a U.S. citizen. There's lots of different. Where can I find explanatory statement? Well, and I love the name Love, because that we're probably related, because I'm related to Loves. So that's kind of cool. Probably by now, in all honesty, you can probably find explanatory statement free online, by all means. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. There's lots of copies out there. I never expected for it never to be, you know, given to other people or whatever else. So if you can't find it that way, I have reduced the price, and it is on blacksite32.com, so you can find it on there. But remember, the explanatory statement is not mandatory. It just has a lot of good information in it that, when used with the passport, does help people to do what they're trying to get accomplished. But we now know what the code is. We know where to put the code at on the passport. We brought you guys that, you know, over the last 2 years. So yeah. Oh, okay. You guys are chatting in the comments. Yeah, there we go. Slave, Colorado. Nancy, how's it going? Like the name Medina. My brother Badwolf. What's going on, Bronze? Yeah, I haven't seen you in a hot minute, man. Or maybe I haven't seen you in the comments. I need post-conviction relief, Fairfax post. Okay, so you're talking about getting your civil disabilities reinstated. Yep, I just made a video on that. You're essentially going to have to go to the court, and basically they should have a file down there. Each state moves a little bit differently, and county too. But you should be able to ask them how to get your what form do you need to have your civil disabilities reinstated? So that's all you have to do. Yes. Kat Johnson, thank you as well. Yeah. So like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not a guru or nothing like that. But what I will say is it's funny how many people out there are either using my information or my name or my channel to boost their name on their channels and whatever else. That is hilarious to me. All I'm trying to do is just put out information to help people move forward. But it is what it is. I guess, imitation or mockery is the best flattery, I guess, as they say. So the 3-star passport, yeah, we now know that the 3-star is the lowest of the level where you are educational purpose only on the do not detain list. It does work. From what I've heard, they can still arrest you if you have an open warrant, and they think that they have enough probable cause to basically do that. But I've seen them arrest 4 and 5-star people. What it is that some of them will ignore the status altogether. I mean, they're the ones taking a risk that the federal government can come in there and hit them with 10 years and whatever else, depending on what you've done or haven't done. But a lot of them, they will ignore the law. Southern Bay says they like the Badwolf. He treads lightly, though. Yeah, because you know what? At the end of the day, like, I've been doing this in the private since I was like 9 years old. They know who I am. I know who they are. They watch my videos. It's nothing new. I've had some of them reach out to me. I've had police reach out. Other people in various departments of government reach out to me and ask me for certain information, blah, blah, blah. It's nothing new. I've been emailed by them and whatever. And hell, some of them have actually made changes to their process based on the information in my videos. So the whole thing is, and to keep it, G, is that, as long as you're not revealing bad information that gets people in trouble or you are against them, then for the most part, there's nothing they can say about you providing the remedies. But like I said, even I don't know like top tier stuff, what is this? Is it true that if you put your bank account into a trust, that banks cannot do V? I'm not sure what V is, but if you convert your existing bank account into a private account, with a trust, then yeah, they basically cannot touch that. You've made they can only go after things with your legal name on it. Once you change the legal name, it's no longer underneath. Because see, your legal name is a legal person, which was provided to you by the state, and that makes you a U.S. citizen. So anything underneath that name, they have access to. When you make something private, which is why you hear a lot of rich people go, oh, yeah, I'm going to put my money offshore or in a private account, or I'm going to get a numbered account, things of that nature, then yeah, you're making it private. Crazy squirrels, all hail King James. I don't know if I'm a king, at least not in this lifetime or life form or form of life, but I appreciate that. Gamer Zero. It was wild is I YouTube searched myself today and came across a whole bunch of people I didn't even know, and they were like, you got to check out James C Lovett, woo woo. And then I had some people, oh, don't trust or listen to this guy. Okay, that's fine, but they're not showing any proof. Show where's the proof? Talk is talk. Show it. If you're gonna use my information and my likeness, which that could be considered against YouTube standards, but do your own stuff. Don't bring me into it. You use your own stuff to show why this isn't the correct way to do it. But it is what it is. It's hilarious to me. Says also there is the Savage. Okay, I'm not sure if you guys are talking about me or somebody else. I know this is the first live I've caught. I usually try to do lives on Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays. I try to avoid days that other people on YouTube that I know and that I respect, especially, are doing these things, because why compete for the same time frame? Like, there's enough. Here's another thing. There's enough people on YouTube There's enough money out there that we shouldn't compete for time slots. We should be working with each other, especially us people of color. All people should be working together. And that's what's interesting is that, like, and I hate to say this about most of people of color, but we're like one of the only groups where people want to fight amongst themselves to stand on top of the other one. You look at like Asian people, they don't do that. Look at white people, they don't do that. Like almost no other group. And that's what irks me. And that's why like we should all be a community. Straight up. That's really what it is. Or continue to do the work of the system out there, which is to keep us all divided. Oh, you're black, you're white, you're red, you're blue, you're this, you're man. Come on, man. I'm not 15 years old. Like, I'm not falling for it. I don't fall for the Jedi mind tricks. You know what I mean? Like that whole let's fight each other and you know, no. That's entertainment. That's what the slave masters would do to the slaves is they would take two of the big buck males, okay, and they would have them fight and emasculate them. And I'm not going to get into all the other things that used to transpire because that will be some red flags on YouTube to talk about. So really that alone. But yeah, like, come on, man. Stop the hate, stop the fighting. You know, all that stuff is trash. Anybody who participates in that is trash, which is why you've never seen me on anybody else's YouTube channel or whatever else. Because if it's just going to be like, let's argue out who's smarter, I'm not here for that. I'm trying to awaken minds and souls. And if that's not what you're about, then it is what it is. Dale McBride says, can't wait to consult with you in December. Yeah, thank you, brother. The holidays are always weird because for some reason everybody is like, let's do a consultation. Like during the summer months, it's well, I guess because everybody's having a good time. But yeah, winter tends to book me up. But I'm only usually about a week, maybe a week out, you know, at the most. Like I'm popular, but I'm not that popular. You know what I mean? So, and I'm okay with that. I could go on other people's YouTube channels and pay for shout outs and whatever. I don't want that. I don't want to be overwhelmed with consultations and all kind of appointments to be in, you know, on no, I don't want that. Would we still be able to pay you to make the plates? So I don't make the plates anymore just because so many people were so picky about the color and the font and, you know, when the company ships it out, because I don't have a plate machine here, you know what I mean? So what I tell people is just go on to customsigns.com. And if you have everything else in place with your vehicle in a trust, you've updated the DMV, you have all your stuff prepared, then go ahead and make them on customsigns.com. It's really easy. It's really easy. You know, that's why I was like, you know what? First, when we just kind of were doing it, it's like I didn't mind, but it takes up a lot of time going back and forth. So I don't do that anymore. It's easier and it's far cheaper for you guys to make your own. So like I said, I'm not here trying to push products and trash. I pulled that product the moment I was like, you know what? Here's a good site that people can use. It's really easy. I'm not gonna sit here and try to milk money off of people. I get paid for my time, files I made. But if I can find it for free or for cheap, then I want you guys to do it for free or for cheap. You know, I mean, I got to do something to keep my lights on, of course, but yeah, you know, so just go to customsigns.com or just type in on Google or any one of these search engines and, you know, novelty plates and make your own private ones. Levan says, I like the new logo. Appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to mix it up, you know, add on new logos here and there whenever possible. So I appreciate you. So yeah, if somebody out there wants to donate a free logo, you know, or something like that, I'll take it, you know, video piece, you know, we can work something out usually. Jason says, I haven't seen them. Your content is super thorough. Yeah. I try to do a lot of research before getting in there, but have I been wrong? Yeah, once or twice I've been wrong on some of the things. Is a chunk of this material subject to interpretation, which then can be respected by law if you can demonstrate why you see it the way you do? Yeah. But yeah, I usually try to make sure that I don't have too many flaws or anything so that people can have the right information. Now, do things change, or do other people have their version of how to move? Yeah, of course. It's like religion. This right here, what we're doing is like religion. How many do we have around the world? Like over 1,000, and everybody seems to claim that they're right. I've never claimed that I'm right. I claim that I've done it this way and it worked for me. That's it. So, but yeah, we're usually pretty on the spot with it, if possible. What do you think about the W-4 process? Talking about the W-4 sandwich. I've heard good and bad with that, if that's what you're talking about. So, but I've heard the same thing with the 1099As, and how people are using them. So yeah, I tell people, if you're not sure, then contact the IRS. They have a helpline, and if they say not to do a file or something that way, then I wouldn't do it. Because could it go through? Yeah. Could 20 people's go through? Yeah. Could 1,000 go through? Yeah. But if they find and catch the one person, and hopefully it's not you, so or whoever else, knock on wood, then they're going to make an example out of that. It's like sheep jumping the fence. The farmer can only catch one or two at a time, can't catch all of them. So I tell people, be very careful with those processes, and be careful with your claims, and don't put liens on officials and things of that nature. And, stay away from gurus trying to sell you a whole bunch of crap. You don't need any of that stuff. Trying to get passports from a child with no birth certificate. Okay, so if you don't have a birth certificate for your children, then what you're gonna have to do is get and I don't SL, I'm not sure if you're a female, male, whatever, so don't take any offense. But whoever was there, okay, so your significant other, parents, if they're alive, grandparents who might have witnessed it, people at the hospital, whoever you can get, create your own birth certificate. I also do have some for sale on my site, but you can make your own. Go online and get a Bible one, or use a Bible. You can also use a DS-10, which is their document, but if you want to, you can use it. So create your own, have everybody notarize it in front of the notary at the bank. You sign it as well, they're autograph it really, and then use that. Okay. Also, if you got if you were at the hospital, or if you had a midwife or something like that, then use them or any files that they have, make copies of them and use those. You should be good. We've done that many times. How do you become a national? You already are. You already are a national. See, what happens is when whatever state you were born in, say like Florida, okay? So you're born in Florida. There's two parts to Florida, really. There's the state public side, and then there's the private republic side, which means all the people, the organic people, the real land. So being born in Florida makes you a Floridian. That's a state citizen, and that's their own terminology. But that's also a word that's synonymous with the word national. So state citizen and national. State citizen literally means you're a member of that particular state's private side. National means all the state citizens together make nationals. So real quick, just because I know how to do this pretty quick, I will show you what we're talking about. Some of you guys have already probably seen this. Okay, where's there's that. I'm going to share the screen. Okay. All right. So I'm typing in GPO styles manual, which is what the government uses to identify everything that's theirs. Or let me say this correctly. Everything that they do, they have to have a manual on it. So I'm going to 2016 is the last time they updated it. I'm going to PDF. Okay. So I'm going to go to the top so you can make sure you see that this is legit. And here, right here, it says, here, let me see if I can blow it up. Authenticated. So authenticated means true and real, de jure, American. Okay. So if you don't see the word America right here, keep America. and authenticated, these mean you're in the right jurisdiction. Okay. So I'm going to go up here to the search, and I'm going to do a search for the term Texan, because I know this document quite well. All right. So here, under the term nationalities in the government's book, okay, it says in designating the natives of the states. So they're telling you right here, if you use these terms that we've all heard, you are by the government considered a native. And you're native to where? America. So you, in fact, are a Native American. So the natives, meaning national, see, nationalities is plural for the term national, which holds the word nation in it, which is a derivative of natives, meaning natural. That's where they get that from. So now that you know that you are already a native and a national, if you're born in Texas, you are a Texan. Florida is Floridian, right? And so on and so forth. So let me get my camera back up here. So you already have it. So when someone says, oh, you need to really correct and change your status, you already have it. You don't, matter of fact, I'll be the first person to tell you guys this. You don't need anybody's books or programs or any of that stuff. You already have the correct standing. You were born with it. Nobody can confer it on you. You have it already. You have it. But what some of us elect to do is to have it depicted in the system as much as possible. But really, what we're coming to right now is a new understanding. We don't need to change the straw man's name. I mean, you can if you want to. It's the old way. You can still do it that. No, there's no problems with it. But the new way is to either separate the straw man or merely create a private trust, a faith-based organization, an unincorporated association. You're creating a new name and a new persona, and you're using that to operate privately or tax exempt. That's really the way to do it. Anthony says, so I have to work tomorrow and I need money. No car insurance and plates is in my senior name and I'm a junior. What do I do? Well, there's kind of a lot of things in there, but so for car insurance, you can find cheap car insurance. Just you're gonna have to hunt around. I think I used Esurance back in the day. You can also get a bond for it. Sometimes you can slide it underneath the homeowner's insurance. Sometimes they have policies. As far as needing money, we all need money, but you can go to USA.gov and they've got lots of grants and programs you can apply for depending on what you're trying to do, like a business or help out with the bills. I did make a video on how to search for programs and foundations in your area. You just go on, search engine, type, whatever if you're trying to pay your bills, say you're in Texas, type in foundations, grants, and loans for helping with bills or bankruptcy or foreclosure in the state of Texas, and see what pops up. And you have to go down and hit all these people. Boom, 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 boom. So, but we could go, I did make videos on it, but we could go more into detail, like, if we, have time, but I have a lot of questions and things. I'm going to try to get to all of them as much as possible. I'm going to apologize in advance because I probably, as usual, will not be able to get to all of them. I love the Badwolf pause. You like my pauses? So I don't mean to do that on purpose. I'm just downloading information on how to answer it properly. What do you think about state troopers ignoring UCC codes and violating consent? A lot of them, so state troopers, a lot of them, they don't know the law and they do not know that they operate under the UCC. Okay. But let me say this carefully. I would have to double check where state troopers are exactly, because I know sheriffs are supposed to be constitutional. And the federal government does not operate under the U.C.C. Only things from the state and lower. So the state troopers should be under the U.C.C., but they don't know the law. They don't know the U.C.C. All they know is what's in their computer. And violating consent, yeah, they'll step all across your constitutional rights. But if you have their plates on, they're assuming that you are a member of their public jurisdiction, which means they have the right to administer their state constitution, rules, laws, edicts, statutes over somebody. And unfortunately, a lot of them will still knowingly violate that. So you're going to have to, send put in a complaint to them, to the internal revenue, or not internal revenue, internal, what is it? They have an internal agency. It's not the revenue, internal affairs. Okay. Send a letter to your, to the chief of the state troopers or whoever's in charge, your secretary of state, your attorney general. You might have to go after them in court, depending on what they've done. If you can show how they deprived you of your rights, under 241, 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. So look that up. Then yeah, take them to court. One guy got paid $400,000 for just being pulled over as a private person. So without knowing if you were traveling privately or not, it's hard to say. But look up deprivation of rights and 241, 242, deprivation of rights under color of law. You'll also, there's a free booklet you can get. It's called a treatise on arrest. Fire book right there. Fire book. Is there a way to get a free passport? You can. There is. I have it. I don't remember exactly, but you can have the fees waived. But I haven't looked at that information in a long time. But what I would tell you is this: if you can't afford to get the book and the card, which usually puts you about $210, get the card. The book is only really needed if you're going to leave the country. So get the card. It's like $30. That's all you got to pay, and you're good. Jay says, please elaborate a bit on creating one's own ID. So there's no law against creating your own private identification. Okay. So no matter what anybody tells you, libraries do it. The gym does it. Private members societies do it. Everybody can do it. We just never thought or knew that we can do it ourselves. And according to what I heard is that because the government does not produce educational information only, a national ID, you can create your own ID and call it a national ID. I would recommend going to idcreator.com. And by the way, I'm not sponsored by any of them. They don't get paid, or they don't pay me for any of that. I'm just telling you guys from my personal use. I found those places and they're usually pretty good, high quality. Even with idcreator.com, on mine, they actually allow you to create, multi-scannable barcodes on the back. Me personally, do what you want to do. I wouldn't put a zip code on there. I wouldn't put an address on there. I would put whatever your given name is or your private name, and that's how I would operate it. But keep in mind, if you're operating a vehicle with, their plates on, they might try to challenge that ID. It's not going to work at the bank because they don't know who that is. It's not a state or federal ID. So you can make your own ID, but they may not want to recognize it, but that's okay, because you can tell them that this is foreign, or it's a foreign national, it's private. And so as long as you're not doing anything criminal or illegal, you're good. How do we get on the do not detain list? Well, the do not detain list is also known as the blue list, or it's also known as the federal watch list. And essentially what it is that you are looked at as either a threat or you're looked at as a guest to the United States. And it's all on the same list. There's not like, oh, here's the bad list, here's the good list. It's all one list, but they have the names notated as why you're on there. So Usually that's done by getting the passport done as a state citizen. In the old days, which we still do at times, you can send an affidavit of who and what you are and request to be placed on that list by sending it to the Department of State or to the Supreme Court. Obviously, the Supreme Court doesn't want thousands of letters, so, well, neither does the Department of State. But the Department of State has the obligation to receive it and then make a note in your file. So I would do one or both of those. Why was King George funding both sides of the war? Because it's good to be king. Cash rules everything around me. Yeah, he was funding both sides of the war because he knew no matter what, it was going to be in his favor. You give it to the losing side, well, now you can take their land. You give it to the winning side, they got to pay you back. And if they don't pay you back, you can come after their stuff and their land too. Why would you not? You know what I mean? You got to remember, to these people, it's all business. That's it. If you're receiving disability, can you still become a national? You already are a national. So yes. Yep. You already are, because the living you is the national and the non-living you is the legal person, which is your name in all capitalized letters, which is typography, which means how the word looks. And all uppercase means contractual, commercial, juridical person. James. Hi, James. My wife owns the motorhome we live in. She does not have a driver's license. I do. I'm afraid that if I give up my driver's license, our home will end up getting impounded. Well, yeah, you don't have to give up your license. Like I said, nobody has to do anything we're talking about here. Matter of fact, you don't have to give up your license or do right to travel to be a national or to move privately. That's just if you really want to go to that level of things. So keep things the way it is. If you do want to do right to travel, well, then I would suggest watching all the videos, and then, moving as such, but you don't have to. No, you already have your private side. You just never used it. You never knew it was there to use. Budokan says, I've been writing to the court and I like to share my letters with you. I'm after clearing my easy pass or total account right to travel on my partner. Okay, yeah, you can send it to me. I'll take a look. Trying to send it. Has the lecture started yet? You mean like the seminars I'm going to be doing? Not yet. I know I'm slipping. I've just been dealing with like stuff I'm going to be making some videos on, but I'll keep it real. Like my father passed away years ago. I'm dealing with some of his credit trash going on to my report, bank account issues, still learning the federal rules of civil procedure, dealing with, haters going hate, like monkeys throwing feces in a monkey pit. And I'm like, I'm not taking any. Nope, I'm not partaking. I'm sorry. I'm more civilized than that. So, no, we haven't gotten there yet, but yes, I will be starting them soon. I just don't know how many people really want me to do that. And I'm still trying to put a team together. So I'm just going to go out on a leap of faith, try to make everything reasonably priced, try to make sure, as always, I give you guys more than you expect for what you guys are providing me as a thank you. So I like to make sure I move, correctly. So, but yeah, those are coming. If not, you're talking about the lecture tonight. Yes, we're started. We're going. Cash Up Cash says, love the content, very helpful. Yes, I appreciate you for watching and utilizing it. Rhonda Irby says, I wish you guys would join forces. See, Rhonda, you touched on something as well. It's crazy to me how so many people, everybody wants the fame out here. I've never said I wanted fame. I never once said I wanted to be famous. I don't even like being in the public. In all honesty, that's why I teach you guys how to do this. I'm not planning on doing this channel and whatever forever. Like I wanted to put out enough information where you guys can learn, and then you guys go and do what you guys got to do. I don't want my whole life to be in the public at all. I'm private. That's, like I said, I only came out because people were like, you could probably help a lot of people. So that's why I'm here. But yeah, it would be nice for people to join forces. But a lot of people have egos, and they like there's enough money and enough viewers out there for everybody. That's what I don't get. It's really sad. I pray for people like that who don't want to work together, because you got people like me and A6 Grind Time. That's my cousin. We work together. My other cousin is Knowledge Well Media. We work together. Fearless Floyd. You got people like Eternal Zion. You got people like Brandon Joe Williams, One Stupid F. All these people throw shout outs with me. I throw them right back. That's love. So if anybody wants to be truly a lone wolf, then that's on them. But see, real wolves, we run, and if we're alone, we run with another one. We run together. We game each other up. That's what the system doesn't want. They want us all divided, and that's a sad thing, because then somebody's doing the masses work. Yes, masses, I'm gonna go fight that other slave over there. I'm not partaking. I don't do that. Never will. Not gonna. Nope. No thanks. If you convert to a U.S. national, does that prevent you from voting and getting a... Okay, so you always have your U.S. citizen side. You always have that membership unless you fully renounce. And to fully renounce, as far as they're concerned, is to go in front of a judge, pay $2,500 to $1,500, swear out, and then they'll give you a document that says you no longer are a member of their system. Okay, now the other way to do it, they don't like it, but it's still legal, is for you to create your own affidavit swearing out, which is what I've done, get it notarized, and then use it wherever you go, because you've pledged to be with somebody else, another nation, your own, whatever it is. But when you do that, you then are not supposed to vote, because then you're technically committing voters fraud and whatever else. So you're not entitled to some of those things. But like what I did is I said, yeah, though I want you guys to know I'm renouncing as a living being, I still operate the all capitalized name as a authorized agent and a non-belligerent, non-combatant, treated with the United States, private person. Okay. So you can still have your tools, but yeah, I wouldn't vote if you do that. So, Rhonda says, I agree. That's our biggest downfall. Facts, for real. And you know what? It hurts. It hurts because you know what? Like, there are so many corporations out there every day ripping us off. Why am I going to go against my fellow brother out there? White, black, pink, gay, straight, trans. I don't care how you move. As long as you respect me, I respect you back. And if you don't like me, then I will probably just go, that's cool. You know what I mean? Love says, how can I get pending charges dismissed? That's probably something for a private consultation, depending on what has transpired. But I have made a number of videos. I would suggest going through my archive and looking at those first. But generally, you're going to have to either find defects in the information. You're going to have to challenge them. You're going to have to get that information to all the right parties. It can be done. We have done that. I'm not licensed. I'm just a attorney in fact, or a private sector citizen who gives educational tips to people. And everyone's grown, so you can do what you want to do. You can even Wang Chung if you want. Can you open a private bank account with your private entity? Yes. See, the thing is that they're still going to want to see your name as a U.S. citizen. So you're going to have regular information on you, but you can name your trust that you used to open the bank account with your private name. Okay. So yeah, you can do that. There's, the future says they mess with you with private plates. You know, in all honesty, and knock on wood, in 10 years or 12 years, however long I've been doing this, probably 3 times. And all those cases get dismissed and dropped because I know who to talk to. I know the judges know who I am now, which is why I tell you guys, you got to get your information done right. And you just show them. Even when when they were behind me trying to take off my plate, I called their commanding officer. I dialed 911, told them I got some rogue cops behind me. Actually, these were sheriffs. And yes, I do have friends who are police. in my family and who are friends. So they know who I am, what I do. And I called these people's commanding officer and had her on the phone, put her on speaker. And I said, are they allowed to take private plates off of a non-U.S. registered vehicle? I was like, because in my state, it's code section 341.40. And she was like, oh, no, they are not supposed to do that. She goes, I'm going to log into their body cams right now. Then they all got quiet. And everybody went away except for the last guy who had to sit there on the hook. I wasn't trying to be a DICK, but if you're going to be a bigger one, then I guess I can do the same thing. So no, not normally, but also the key things with making your own plates is do not make them look identical to the state's or anybody's plate, because then that can be construed as fraud. Okay. Copyright infringement, trademark infringement, all of that. Make your own, make it unique. When you do them, you put the name of the trust, the private trust that you create, the private foreign trust that you create. Whatever name is on the trust, you have to put that on the name of the plate. Then that becomes what's known as a foreign registered vehicle, okay? Or a non-resident registration, all right? DJ Free says, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 is meet to the 14th Amendment, U.S. citizen, July 1868. Yes. Okay. You guys are impressing me. I likes this. I love it, man. This is why I created my channel, guys. Like, when I created my channel, I knew people were going to be pissed off at the information, at me, because they don't understand rights and privilege, rights and benefits versus privileges and licenses. This information has been lost a lot. That's why it's key that you guys get it and use it. And we have been successful 99% of the time, 98 to 99% of the time, unless you've done something really major, because this ain't going to help. This is not how it works. Young Life says there are 5 statuses. Yes, there are multiple ones out there. People don't even know. I did make a video on it a long time ago. But it's in my repertoire of videos. Gamer Zero says, who is David Wynn Miller? So David Wynn Miller is actually a guy from Wisconsin, and he was very, very smart. I mean, very smart. I don't remember all the things that he learned, his college degrees and whatever, but he's very smart. And he understood that there's a thing called quantum syntax grammar, which meaning down to the minutia of how words are put together, what they look like, how you are supposed to put citations and things together, and how the English language is supposed to not have spaces between the words. That's why sometimes you see people with these weird, like, little dashes and colons and semicolons in their name or between their words of their names. That's because, according to David Wynn Miller, that's how the English language is supposed to be written. And everything is supposed to be written in the present tense, not the past, not the future. You can't say redirect. I'm going to redirect that. No, you have to say, I direct that. So that is the proper English language for the living. Okay. Anything you talk about in the past or the future is dead. We're not there yet. We're in the present. We're never going to be in the future. We're never going to be the past. We're always in the present. So it must be living. That's a living document. So he created, or I shouldn't say created, he discovered that. I was going to say rediscovered. Nope. Well, let me say this correctly. He discovered it on his own, but it had already been in existence. Okay. That's how you would say that properly in the quantum syntax. But then he ended up working with a partner named Russell J. Gould, who also works with Christopher Mark or something like that. And they, on their channels, they talk about that more in depth. I don't really go so much into that. But they use that language to invalidate, excuse me, certain documents. Whereas I look for defects and things to challenge, they challenge the actual word or the grammar of what is being used, and they have been successful. So that's why I said there's multiple ways to operate. Yeah, I did see that, young cuz. Yeah, that's part of the problem right there, is how people want to do that. But hey, nothing but peace and light to that brother, because it sounds like he might need, that. It is what it is. Welcome to the jungle. He ain't the first or the last, but that just goes to prove my point, which is what, people were talking about earlier. Let's see here. My comment says, what a way you'd recommend to get revocation of election is one with SSDI. So the revocation of election is if you are paying taxes and you want to stop paying taxes with your employer. Okay. So you would use a W8BN or the W4V. We now know that the W4T is not a real file. It's not a real IRS file. We talked about that. That was one of the few mistakes I made a long time ago. Is it was sent to me kind of like another file. This video, this live today, was actually going to be on the national passport document, but upon close examination, somebody made a deep fake. Okay. And then they sent it to me. And so I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, that might be, looks right. The wording was right. I checked it over like 2 times. And then I did a real like close word by word, line by line comparison. And the numbers are not jiving. So somebody made a deep fake. So that's why we're not talking about that tonight, because it's not real. So the W4T is also not a real file. But according to the law, you can make your own files and submit them, and they are supposed to respect your claim. So you can make any file that they that they have in their possession, but a lot of them might try to fight you on it because they're like, all right, thank you, Six, I appreciate you on that information, but they're gonna say, well, no, we don't recognize that. You have to use this file, use our file. So, but as far if you're getting Social Security, disability, and like I said, I'm not there yet, so I don't know all the ins and outs on that, so I can't really answer more than that. But if you are, you can have your status as who you are and still get that, because you still have the straw man, the ens legis. And but if you're talking about transferring, if you're talking about not paying taxes on certain things, you would want to create a private trust. As far as I know, I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not there, so it's just total, just out of the left corner. You shouldn't be paying any taxes on anything that that you've already put in for. But if you are, there are ways of gifting that to your private trust or to another private entity to avoid being taxed. Is how the wealthy people do it. Okay, let's see what else we got. Wow, I am trying to catch up. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to get to all of them, but I will try, guys. I might jump around, so I'm going to apologize if I don't get yours. All right, so please bear with me. What if the spelling on the certificate of live birth, especially the mother's last name? Well, you could use that to your advantage. Not saying to do anything illegal, but if they spelled it wrong, or you can merely go to the court and force them to correct the name. Okay. And Transcendent says, yes, get a baptismal certificate. Yes. If you are a faith person, you can get one done that way. You can use, in the old days, like when my parents were alive, there was no hospital. You had it at home. If you were fortunate enough to have a Bible, use the Bible. If not, you just went without. My mom actually didn't get a birth document until she was probably, I think, in her 20s or about mid 20s. I don't know how she did it. I guess she just applied for it. But oh man. Matt C says passport got denied through USPS. Could be my existing passport. Yes, definitely. I just did somebody on the consultation earlier with that. There's like 4 different regions that they do this, and some of them will allow you, which they're not supposed to. I read their rule book. I actually coached the acceptance agents at the one by my house on actually how to do her job. So they are not supposed to allow you to just do a new DS11 because you cannot have two sets of passports with the same name or to the same person. Cannot do that. But some people are able to get away with it. I don't know how, but they are. I haven't figured that one out. So when your current one expires, or if it ever gets lost, then you can do a brand new one. Otherwise, yes. Somebody said D&D. Yeah, not Dungeons and Dragons. They're talking about do not detain. It just see what the do not detain really just means. It means that when you get a passport, if you do it the right way, you're essentially saying I'm a constitutional citizen of the United States of America, and I'm not a U.S. citizen operating on the state level. Those are two separate jurisdictions. The federal government operates with the Constitution for the United States, even though they kind of made their own copy of it. So it's parallel, but we'll leave that alone for now. But it's a different jurisdiction. The states operate with the permission and somewhat watchful eye of the federal government. So the government gave the states permission to be underneath them to operate, saying, hey, you guys can be your own government. You can do your own thing. You can operate as a PMA, which is a private members association, open it up to everybody there, call it the public, and you can administer over them. But if you deny anybody who's an American their rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and constitutional laws, then we're going to come down on you. So don't make them come to us. Because if we go to them and we complain, they're going to do something. That's what's going on. Do you know if this is equal to the certificate of live birth? Yes. When you get your state portrait form, green seals, birth certificate authenticated on the state or federal level, it is the equivalency of the certificate of live birth legally. Yes. If you have your status corrected, it's been recorded and sent to the sheriff. How do I not go to court for a ticket? Plus, am I out of their jurisdiction? Okay, so the living you, educational information only. Yes, but they're still going to attack your legal person because they have that in their database. That's what they're going to attack. That's what they've always been attacking. So you can walk away from it, but if you go ahead and still use anything with that old name, oh yes, you best believe they're going to swing on you. Okay, so the sheriff, some of them are good, some of them are sketchy. I've seen it firsthand. So I'm not going to mention names and things, but they're just going to do their duty. And if you don't know how to move, then they're just going to, they're going after that legal name. All I will tell you is this: there's a lot of power in doing a legal name change. That's all I'm going to say. Esau says, James, the Badwolf, have you ever heard of the DTSS, Debt to Success System? I've heard it mentioned, but I have not had a chance to look at their materials. So I usually just tell people to, vet it, look them up, look the information up, see if there's any reviews. But yeah, I haven't. See, what you guys are going to see from here on out is an explosion of this information, and everybody's going to start putting their own little private this or that's on there. So I haven't had time to go through a lot of people's stuff. I mean, I've got 20 books on the floor, plus what you guys see. I have not gone through all of these books. A lot of them, yes, but not all of them. And it takes a long time to vet someone's process to make sure that this is legal. Is it lawful or is it illegal? How is the agency going to respond to this? But check it out. If it's not going to cost you too much, buy it. Check it out. See how they move. I thought it's that you are both a state citizen and an American national. So yes, you're right, but legally, you are a state citizen, you are a national of the United States. Obviously, you're an American because you're from America, and you are then given the title of a U.S. citizen. So none of them refer to us as American nationals. So that's why you rarely hear me say that. I operate by what's in their documents when they refer to us. But see, they will all use something different. Police use foreign national. Department of State uses non-citizen U.S. national. IRS uses non-citizen U.S. national or non-citizen. What is it? Yeah, non-citizen U.S. national and whatever else they have, or non-resident. So they're all going to use different things. You can call yourself whatever you want, but if you're trying to impress upon them who and what you are, you have to use their terminology. It's like if you go to, Italy, you got to speak Greek. You can't walk up and say, "Yo, what's up? I'm a state citizen." You got to speak Greek to them. You got to be like, "Yasu, pospai, tikanis." So otherwise they're not going to understand you, and they're going to use that to dismiss you and then make you seem dismissive or belligerent. Rhonda says, how do you separate the straw man? Well, separating a straw man can be done by either going to the court and doing a name change, or you can use that name change document to get your passport done with your private name. You can create a private trust or entity and use that entity as yourself. See, when we look at our name and our social, you guys think that's really you and it's your social. No, none of that's really yours. You've never, especially if you've never claimed the name or did a copyright on it, the state gave you that. That's a legal person. They let you administer. The social security card on the back of it says this is their property. So none of that's really yours. They gave you a business to operate. So instead, if you don't want to use a straw man, create a new straw man, create a new persona, create a new legal person, taxable or untaxable, whatever you want to do. That's the secret. That's how you make that happen. So Crazy Squirrel says, traffic ticket, right? Refuse for cause without dishonor, UCC 1-308, mail it back, certified, receipt, 3 days to the department issuing the ticket. So this does work. However, it is not consistent all the way around the board, and I'll tell you why. Because some of these judges will ignore that, and they'll still go after the straw man. But this is definitely how you start. But here's the problem. If you got a normal ticket in your vehicle where you have a license registered to the state, your vehicle is registered to the state, your license plate is registered to the state, your title of your vehicle, this one's a little gray area, but it's still being held by the state. They're going to say, you've given us 4 or 5 reasons that we can give you this ticket. And we're going to go after the name because the name's in our database. It's a legal person and it's ours. So though this does work, I'm not saying to use it. I'm not saying not to use it because, this is what I do. But for me, my stuff is all out of their system. My vehicle is owned privately. I don't own any of that stuff in my name other than my bank accounts, which will be changed probably within the next month or two at the latest. So yes, that is a method, but if they still get at you that they want you to be there, you're going to need to be there because otherwise they're just going to roll over you, not be there, and then put a default judgment in on you, which they're really not supposed to do, but they might do it. Love says, yes, how you separate the straw man? I have court tomorrow. Ugh. See, those are those consultations that I don't like when people, go, hey, can you help with my court case? One, I do not do court cases. I provide the information. I'm going to do seminars to help people with that as educational information. But the last minute, how do you do that? It's really tough. It's really tough because I can't be there for you. I can't speak on your behalf. And I can tell you how to do 1 or 2 things. And the prosecutor or, he might run right over you. But I'll tell you this. I believe from my experience that it's a conflict of interest that the prosecutor and the judge are both bar members. It seems to be a conflict of interest. So just saying. But you got to remember, when they start seeing that you're even halfway intelligent and you're using some of these things, if you can't go the distance with them, you might want to take your lumps, because they're going to say, oh, this person thinks that this, and this, we need a psyche eval on this person. And then they lock you up for 4 or 5 days, calling you a sovereign citizen and whatever else. So most of my stuff is better for prevention when you can see these things coming, when you got time. Like immediately when you get that ticket, that's when you want to contest it, because really everything that they're sending is their offers. They want you to contract. Remember, you're not a slave. So how can they force you to do anything? Oh, that's because you're a member. So they expect the member to participate in voting. They expect the member to have certain civil responsibilities. They expect the member to come to court to administer what's going on with the trust that the state gave you, which is your all caps name. That's why you'll see some people bring their birth certificate there, and they'll make mention that here, is that person. Okay. But like I said, I could game you up all night long, but you have to be ready to deal with how they're going to move. And those prosecutors, they get paid to do this stuff. Like I said, I had a judge actually ask me if I was a lawyer, and then he asked me if I would join them. He said, well, we would love to have you on our side, Mr. Lovett. Yeah, I'm sure you would, because if I can beat their people, the average citizen wouldn't stand a chance. Let's see, what do we have here? Bring up. Okay. Goat says, thank you for all your help. Yeah. Like I said, I just try to put you guys on the path. I'm like Morpheus. Do you think that's air you're breathing in this digital world? Do you think your physical body has anything to do with you? And, so thank you. And you guys are welcome. Appreciate you guys. What about remittance coupons for his bills? Remember, that's another key piece to this. Everything that they're doing is commercial. Now, the remittance process, I used to be good at that. And I'll be honest, they've changed some of the stuff. So the way we used to do it is not working for me. Other people are claiming they're having successes. So once again, I'm relearning from other people. Yes, I will watch other people's YouTube channels all day. I'll see what they're doing. I'll call up certain companies. Is this okay? Can you do this? Woo woo. And learn from them. So, but yeah. So watch people's information, but be careful. Vet it. Make sure it looks good. Make some calls. Best I suggest is either to get our guru James to provide info or something else. And yes, Hamlet is right. File a claim against a state trooper all day. But do not file false claims. Do not go out there trying to put them in most precarious situations and then try to go after them for some cheddar, because if they can prove that you did something fraudulent, they're gonna put that hammer down on you. AJ says, what's up, Wolf? Thank you for all you do. You're welcome. Appreciate you. Quick question. What was the video with the codes for the passport? I missed that one. That is the code 09ALL. What you need to do is you can look that up on YouTube, or if you want to find it for yourself and do your own vetting, type in Foreign Affairs Manual or FAM, and you're going to type in 505.2, and it's going to come up as passport endorsements. You're going to go to that page, scroll down. I do not recommend using the ones that say these codes are for internal or authorized agents. So only like 2 or 3 that you can use, like 08 all, 09 all. And that's the only ones that do not say that these are for only internal use. So but you're grown. I've heard some people taking my information once I put that out there and trying that. You are on your own. But if you get it to work, let me know. But for real, I don't recommend doing anything illegal or immoral, or if it says do not use this, do not. That is just what I'm telling you guys. And yes, 09 all. Yep. You guys know, well, I'm not going to mention names, but I've had people with other YouTube channels do consultations with me to get some of this information, which is really, I find it kind of, honorable that they do that. Like I said, I'm not going to put people's information out there. Some are students, some are just, other just trying to learn some stuff too. And yes, Crazy Squirrel is right. Yep. For others going to court, you can file a quo warranto and challenge their jurisdiction. Essentially, that's what it is. So, like with her, I could have told her that, which is true. You can't challenge jurisdiction, but if you walk in and say, I challenge jurisdiction, they're still going to try to run over her because she's not going to know. They're going to say, okay, well, what jurisdiction are you in? If you're not in ours, whose are you in? And what authority do you have to say that? They're going to say, is this not your name? Is this your current address? You reside here, meaning the zip code, essentially. Then, yeah, they got you. They're going to say, well, you know what I mean? So you have to handle all those things on there. But yeah, you can file a writ of quo warranto. Yes, you can do that. Okay, so be happy. This is what got me. So very good question. So how does the federal government not work under the UCC when it's a corporation? If the Dun & Bradstreet is listed as a parent company, the government of the United States corporation. So you are in fact correct. When I looked up the information with the government, they said that they do not operate under the UCC, which is the Uniform Commercial Code. How they're doing that, I don't know. But I did read one of the case law that stated that if the government itself operates like a corporation, then it is in fact a corporation and subject to corporate laws. Now, more than that, I can't tell you. All I know is they literally were like, yeah, we don't operate under the UCC. So if you can figure that one out, let me know. I'll make a video on it. I'll have you on the show because, yeah. Crazy Squirrel said, you file it with the clerk of courts. That works pretty well against child support court too. Onk says, what up, Badwolf, doing your thing, bro? Wow, appreciate you. Hell to the yeah. Wow. TDC says, wow, I can tell you've been studying. If maybe I don't remember exactly. Dang, that's sound advice. Yeah, I've been doing this since I was 9 years old. 9. I was reading these books. Some of these books are actually from, they're almost 40 years old because that's how long I've been reading them. My mom bought some of these for me because she was like, oh, if you think you're so smart, then here, read these books. So then I would read them. I used to read dictionaries and encyclopedias for fun and memorize almost all the words in there just because I was bored. So yeah. Now, do I know everything? No, but I know the basics of everything we're talking about here. So like when people wanted me to help them out with, yeah, there you go. Corrupted. Yeah. Fire. That's the link right there. Everything from child support to property taxes to whatever, it's all business. It's all corporations. So once you understand what a corporation is, what the word even means, corp means body. Okay. So basically a dead body. And ation is to animate. And actually, if I remember correctly, it's supposed to be from the Latin, from corpus. That's where you hear the term corpus delicti. Show me the body. If you're going to go after me, show me the body. Where is the body of where is it? So corporation means to animate a dead thing and a dead body, to make it lifelike, a persona, meaning like being a living person in its likeness, but not the same thing. So, yeah, so I do know a lot, but I do not know everything. I'll be the first person to say that if I'm wrong or I don't have something right, Okay. Because guess what? To err or to be wrong is human. If you can't admit your mistakes, then you definitely are one of these guru. I know it all. No, I don't know it all. Nobody knows it all. It's just funny when somebody wants to, attack you on somewhere where you're not quite perfect. But if you're going to toss the first stone, make sure your glass house is pretty solid. All right. Learn the secret to their game and rules. R plus D equals R and the feudal laws of 1275. I don't think I've checked that one out. I'll have to do that. Appreciate you. Oh, wanted somebody to tell me to put my banner up. My bad. There you go. All right, let's get back to the comments. And yes, this right here, people don't even understand. They're out here doing crazy stuff on YouTube. Actually, we got one guy's YouTube channel shut down because you can sue for defamation of character, calling you a sovereign citizen or something that's not true, or putting your life in danger, okay, by fabricating information or whatever else. You can sue for that. Yes, people have won for defaming their character. Wow, there's so holy Christmas. There's so many comments. I'm trying to get there, guys. I apologize. I'm trying to get through the comments. I appreciate you. Like I said, I definitely apologizing for not having that file. But once again, upon further review, it is not a real file. We did order the real ones. We're waiting for them to come in, but nothing as of yet. And as always, guys, if you guys see anybody out there using any of my logos or information or my likeness inappropriately, calling me a sovereign citizen, anything outside of my name, which is defamation of character, please go and report them, their video, their channel, or whatever else for bullying, slandering, or whatever, and defamation of character, etc., etc. Thank you guys in advance. Okay, so yeah, here's also my main man right here, Fearless Floyd. Got the fire information on trust. You can catch him on thefearlessfloydshow.com or on YouTube, The Fearless Floyd. And he's got fire information. Also, my cousin A6 right here. Boom. Check him out. Guy goes live every Sunday, and he's got fire information. He likes to make sure that you guys see things from multiple angles. He also puts up real information about what he's doing in real time. So please support these guys. Because they know what they're talking about. I stand by how they move. I'll put it to you that way. And I rarely say that. Stop the Madness says, silly, use your passport card. Yes. Okay, let's see where we got here. Ego checker, been arrested 3 times for traveling, no registration, no plate, refused to give up any right. So one of the things, and I don't know where you're at with it, but if you have your passport and your vehicle removed from their system by having put your vehicle into a private trust, you update the DMV with that trust, they should not be arresting you. And if they are, it's time to take them to federal court and sue them. Like I said, the guy in Florida, they stopped him doing right to travel, and he won $404,000 for 15 minutes because it's unconstitutional to deny somebody who's a constitutional citizen or national their rights to freedom, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if you want to bury them, go on your state's legislative website, or Google or whatever else. It's easier with Google because Google does the work for you. It's really hard to go right to their legislative website and do this. But say you're in Florida, so type in state of Florida, and then type in foreign vehicle registration, or non-resident registration. They're going to give you a code that states that as long as you abide by these 3 or 4 requirements with your vehicle privately in their area, they can't do anything. So you can sue them for that. If they don't have that information there, try looking the same state of Florida, private vehicle registration. And if you can't find anything whatsoever, you can use that against them and sue them, because then they shouldn't be arresting you if you're operating truly private. If you don't have a law on it, you can't arrest me for it. If you do have a law on it, I'm abiding by it. So get 3 times, man, you better get that cheddar. That, you know, like when I was first learning this, Knowledge Well Media, it's another man right here. This man's got fire knowledge. Obviously, that's why he's Knowledge Well. This is one guy that if I'm not sure on a term or how to operate it, you know, like a trust or whatever else, I go to him. So you guys can check him out as well. He's on YouTube. I don't think he's got other platforms at this. Wait, I think he's on Patreon as well, if I remember correctly. But yeah, feel free. Like I said, we all go back and forth. Nobody in this crew goes, oh, I'm better than you. I know if my crown is tilted, A6 are like, bro, let me fix your crown. There you go. There you go, cuz I got you. Same thing with Knowledge Well Media. Same thing with Fearless Floyd. You know what I mean? And then we got what? Finest Thing Walking. Haven't seen him in a while. He's fire. Brandon Joe Williams, he's fire. Like I said, all these people, we're trying to run as a pack. Okay. It doesn't mean they have to go by that they're a wolf. We're just running like a pack. You know what I mean? So that's what it's really all about. Anything less than the best, you know, can't tell you. All right. And A6 just goes, if you get arrested for traveling, you should be suing bonds in federal court. Yes. 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 Be Happy says you are a true giver and a patriot. Thank you. I appreciate that. It rejuvenates me when I hear people say things like that, because finally some people actually see me and they get it. Like I said, I could charge a lot more than what I'm doing. I could, you know, be trying to, there's lots of things I could say, oh, you guys need to do this and need to do this. I've never once said you need anything from me. All I said was, if you want to do it the way I did it, this is how I did it. That's it. Because I cannot say this is the only way to do it. Here's my list or my book of everything you have to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. At the end of the day, if you create a new persona, which can have your same name or a different name, and you make it tax exempt, you're good. It's private. It's tax exempt. You can use it how you want to do. Matter of fact, I found this out. Well, I heard about it years ago. And then once again, recently, I guess there's something like 70 or 80% of the people in Minnesota all operate in private trusts. They put all their houses, all their stuff in private trusts, tax exempt. So, but they're not talking about it. They're just doing it. You know? So once again, Be Happy. Thank you for the support. Appreciate you guys. Like I said, Ego Checker says, do you have any sort of plates on your automobile? If you're talking about me, yes. Yeah, I've showed mine since day one. Yep. Now, if you notice on there, it says Levitica National Government. Does not say Lovett, okay? Because that would put my stuff back underneath the straw man. So you mutilate your name or you create something different, so then it's private and foreign. So Levitica National Government. Do I have that name registered as a entity with the government? Yep, I do. It is its own government. I have an EIN tax exempt for it. Yep. So I don't own my stuff. It owns a trust, and that trust owns the vehicles. So I make all my stuff private and compartmentalize it. Anunk says, I'm still learning here for gems. Dropping Badwolf. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, the biggest things here is just creating a private entity. I have like 6. Donald Trump has like, I think 173 EINs, taxable, untaxable. That's how these people are moving, guys. They're all operating out of private trusts or private entities, tax exempt things. We're the only ones on the bottom of the pyramid who don't know what's going on. That's the problem. That's what they don't want out. David M, appreciate you. Been a member for 25 months. Like I said, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. Eagle Checker says, I have private plate. Okay, so now do you have the name of your trust on the top of your plate? Otherwise, what they'll do is they'll say, well, you're not in, and I hate to say it like this, but you're not in compliance with the state code. Because if you do have a plate, it should have the name of where it's registered on the top of the vehicle. Okay. So you know what? Let's do it. We'll jump. I know Wisconsin's off the top of my head. Certain states I have their things memorized, but I know that one. So okay, let me get into search mode here. All right, so let me pull up. Okay, let me screen share. Matter of fact, I'll just do it. I'll just show you the whole process of finding out the information you need right here. I know we did it before, so bear with me. Okay. I'm just going to use Google because it's whatever. I don't, man, they're whatever. They are what they are. Okay, so I'm going to type in state of Wisconsin, it's code 341.40. Yeah, let's just see what pops up. Yep. Okay. Boom. So hopefully everybody can see this. I can't really make it much bigger. I apologize. All right, but here. Exemption of non-residents and foreign registered vehicles. Y'all seeing this, right? Right? Okay. So you want to find your code for your state by looking up exemption of non-residents and foreign registered vehicles, or foreign registered vehicles, private registration. You might have to manipulate the words, but this is what it says. Except as to foreign-owned vehicles required. So there are some foreign vehicles under this code that are required to be registered in, okay, once again, the word in is a modifier. So now they're taking you from the private into their state. In and of are modifiers, okay? This whole thing has been modified. You're in something now. You're of something, okay? Any vehicle that is registered in another jurisdiction is exempt from the laws of this state. Y'all hearing me? Providing for the registration of the vehicles if all of the following applies. A, the vehicle carries a registration plate indicating the registration in other jurisdiction. That's why you have to create a private foreign trust, put the name of it on the top of your plate. B, the vehicle is owned by a non-resident. Here's where you want to create an affidavit of being a non-resident to your state. Get it notarized, make copies, put it in your travel binder. Boom. C, the jurisdiction in which the vehicle allows vehicles that are registered in the state to be operated tax-free upon the highways. Okay, so does your jurisdiction allow your vehicle to operate tax exempt? Yeah, because I created it, or it's private. We've got a tax treaty. Tax exempt entity owns my vehicle. Boom. Okay, or D, the vehicles operate in accordance with rules adopted by the Secretary of Gross Weight from the vehicle, meaning you cannot have a tank. And if you have a 18-wheeler, you have to pay because you're most likely doing commercial things. So let's go to 1M. Foreign owned or operated vehicle. So what does it say? Either it's foreign owned, or it's operated or foreign operated as a vehicle within that state. You do not have special equipment or anything crazy or weird on there, like gun, or cannons and crazy stuff or whatever. 2, okay, here's where they try to bring you back in. If the owner of any vehicle exempted under these sections, or if the vehicle is purchased or leased by a resident of their state, the vehicle immediately becomes subject to the laws of that state for vehicle registration. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Holla if you hear me. Let's get some howls out there in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that bell, like, subscribe, hit thumbs up as you come in. Justin Ray says that video did on tax exempt. The video did on tax exempt. Fire, fire, fire. Yes, brother, I definitely got that on replay. Yes, yes, yes. Appreciate you, love. Yeah, hit me up. We can do a consult on some things. I can prepare you for. Oh, okay. So here's the thing. It might be too late because it's next day tomorrow for you. But in the future, you can always postpone. Matter of fact, you might be able to go there and ask them if they can. But you can always tell them you need more time to prepare, or, you know, if you have COVID-19 or something, you can have them push that out. Okay, so that gives you time. A6 says if they steal your property, put claims on their bonds. Yes. Also, did you know if they arrest you without a Article 3 warrant, or they tow your car, which is stealing your property, without an Article 3 warrant signed by a judicial licensed judge, it is them denying you of your rights, theft of your property. They can't do it. They might physically do it. Oh, but they're going to get in trouble with the law. The federal government can't do it. You have to go after them. All I'm saying is this. If they wrong you and you're operating correctly, go after them in court. Do not be a belligerent or combatant. Do not make their day long and hard. Go after their pocketbooks. Go after their insurance. Go after their bonds. That's the only way we're gonna, tilt the scale. +8 says, I really appreciate you, Badwolf. Thank you. I appreciate you as well. 406 says, Wolf, how long until 100% of all Americans become private? Ugh. Well, I'll tell you this. This information is getting out there exponentially now. When I first started doing this at 9 years old, knew nothing about it, ran with some crews of older European males who knew a lot of this information. There was like less than 1%. Now, from various people that I hear, the Department of State, through certain people, have informed a mutual person that about 8% of all the people getting passports are getting them done specifically as state citizens. So the information is definitely getting out there. But how long to 100%? Hell, they might fake an alien invasion and we may never see 100%. So I don't know, man. It would be lovely, but you're still going to have people who don't have a good overstanding. They don't have the comprehension, the mental ability. They're afraid. So 100%, probably not within any of our lifetimes, nor our kids, nor our kids' kids. So if ever. Gamer Zero says, love the copper cup. Yes, yes. Ask yourselves, why do you think they got rid of all the copper piping? And now copper is so expensive and they don't want you to have it or get vessels to drink out of it. I'm just saying, guys, you have to, the way I work sometimes is I look at what they're taking away. I look at what is no longer around. Like, that's where you have to ask questions. Why are they getting rid of copper pipes in homes? Oh, well, copper's expensive. That's coincidental. We're going to use all this plastic and whatever else. Heard those leach plastic bits into your body and help to, well, I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. Let me stop. Or like when I was a kid, when we would go from here to, like, say, Arkansas or something on a family trip, we would have to stop every rest stop because our whole screen would be covered with bugs. Now you barely see one or two. Why? Because of the pesticides. Now, I don't like bugs at all. I'll be the first person to say I don't like, no, not a bug person. But when you understand that that is the bottom of the food chain and certain things need that to eat, to live, to make other things, then we start wondering why some of these creatures on the small end are disappearing, because they don't have nothing to eat. And if they don't have nothing to eat, the bigger things don't have nothing to eat. Now, this is just a theory, but could there be a future where, you know, there's almost no wild animals or edible animals out there and we all have to buy everything no matter what? And they want to make it so what? You can't collect your own rainwater, can't have your own animals in the city, things of that, you know what I mean? All right, so Fierce Floyd says, breaking, the New York judge allows for indefinite detention of unvaccinated at governor's whim. Wow. Now, see, from my perspective, I would say that only qualifies for U.S. citizens, so I'm glad I'm not one, but that's messed up. Okay, where we got here? My boys are talking. Six is like, what up, Floyd? And Floyd's like, what up, Six? Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. I love the support as well. Thank you guys. All right, what do we got on here? Stop the message. Your geek is hanging out. Tuck. I'm like 90% geek and nerd all the time. I can't help it. No problem. Thank you for everything. I got my long form birth certificate. Now, do I just need to get a passport? Yeah. So remember, Matrix, you already have your standing, but yes, you can correct that information on your passport now that you have those things in effect. So yes. All right. All right. I see you guys talking over there. 4 says, I got my ticket dismissed today. Yes. Yes. Yes, you can follow W8BN. Sorry, I'm trying to catch as many as I can and keep up. I'm not saying don't keep up with the comments, you know, by all means. I'm trying to get in there. Okay, so if the code for the state didn't work, their own code didn't work, oh, then just jump right to the federal district court and sue them there. So then they're playing games. So take their own information about how they denied you, take that to the federal court. That's all. Go after them there. See, remember, guys, you're never going to get your true remedy until you go to the federal court. You have to go to an equity court. You have to go above these state courts. They're all corporations doing corporate internal things. They see you as cannon fodder, U.S. citizens, you know, corporate slaves, members that they can do whatever they want to do with. And they're like, hey, you're the one playing the game. You don't want to be here, then take your ball and go home. So that's what I'm taking my ball, going home. Every man is independent of all laws except prescribed by nature. He is not bound to by any. Yes. Yep. So, yeah, you've seen that. That was ruled in, I think, a Supreme Court ruling is where that was, if I remember correctly. Last time I got pulled over, I gave it to them. Yeah, like I said, the only time, like I said, the last time I got pulled over and bothered, that was my fault. I'm a grown man. I can honestly say that it was my fault because I was in the middle of changing information and I was waiting for a new passport and I had just put my vehicle into a private trust, but it didn't update in the system. It takes, you know, like a week or two before it propagates properly. So that was on I still beat it, but that was my fault. Now, but let's back up. they also didn't have a right to pull me over because everything was legit from the outside. It wasn't fully correct. So I will give them that and meet them halfway. But and they knew they overstepped. That's why when I got their boss on the phone, they all got quiet and they're like, yep. The bar is also a monopoly. Yep. Boom. Yeah. See, the reason why you can't be a sovereign citizen is because there's no legal classification. That's not our actual real status. So if they try to prosecute you as being a sovereign citizen, tell them to please define that and show you where that code, where that name or description is in their code. Okay, so then you brought a false claim to the court. Ooh. Now the prosecutor and the judge can get into trouble. Judge, you're allowing a false claim to come before this court? I've looked up the state laws and there's no definition of a sovereign citizen. So if you're defining that now, then you're trying to charge me with something that is not in existence. So D says, last time I was pulled over, my residence card, and they had to leave me alone. Yeah, if you operate as a non-resident or whatever else, yeah, they're unless you're doing criminal damage, they can't touch you. They can't do anything. They might touch you, but they're going against your rights, and you can sue them for that. All right. Hold on. I think we've got the highest. Hold on. I got to find where that one is. I have to put it up there on the board. Hold on. Start. Okay. All right. I would have to say this is definitely the highest amount anybody has ever donated. So thank you. Especially on the live. I think there was one higher, but that was on the private side. But be happy 22116. Email me after this, and we can talk about how to do that. So it says, how do I get a private conversation with you, James? I can pay your fee. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. Be happy. I appreciate you. I mean, for that price, I can't charge you for a consultation. That's just how I move. Like, so that is admirable that you did that. So email me, not on Black Site 32, because there's an AI that handles those emails. So if you guys are trying to get hold of me, email me directly because it'll answer a lot of the questions. It's crazy. It handles like 98% of all the questions people have for me on there. But send me an email directly so that either I or one of my people, there's only like one or two of us, will get that, and I'll set you up with a consultation. I got you covered. So thank you for that. Appreciate you. Thank you. All right, so let's get back to the comments. Yep, somebody said especially the bees. Yeah, bees have been coming down with weird things. So we need to protect the bees. I'm halfway thinking about creating a beehive just to help them out because, oh snap! The jump out girls are in the building. These are the fly girls right here. Wolfettes are in the building. Appreciate you guys. Yes. The lovely ladies are in effect. There's so many things, guys, that I can't even begin to put on this channel. Like I said, they took down my channel. Here's the thing. When you're doing something right, you're going to have videos missing. Your channel might have gone down like mine did a long time ago, which is why I know to be cautious and to say this is educational information. But there's a lot of things you just can't put out there because this is still yet a public platform, so I give a little bit more away in the VIP section. And when we do consultation or not consultation, but seminars, we'll talk more about stuff in there. There's a good book called How to Be Invisible. That's a good one. Okay. Somebody said the stream is getting jazz. Okay. So I'm going to take a 2-minute. Hopefully the system syncs back up. Traffic violations are not a crime. That's not criminal. Mosley says, please get a beehive. I wish I could. Poker King says, what are your thoughts on Ron Gibson's method for land patents? I think he's got I think he's the OG of that. I am not formally trained. I've been trying to find time so he can teach me how to do all of that without stepping on his toes. I think that it's good, but according to him, it has to be done a proper way. Otherwise, they're going to walk over your claim. So what I've seen that runs parallel to that, I mean, I even have a land patent right here for my property. You know what I mean? And I love seeing the word America on there. But the first thing I've done, and he's offered to do my land patent for free. I just haven't had time to even have him do it for me. Which once again, Ron Gibson's also another person who's part of the Wolf Pack. This is how we move. You know what I mean? But his way was the original way, and that's great. As long as you can do it and get it done and it sticks. Some people have fought him on it. To keep it real, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to hide real information. But he's been more successful than not. But here's what I do know. If you use their stuff and you beat them with it by creating a private trust, putting your house into it, updating the DMV and the clerk that it's now owned privately, you're good. And they'll have what's known as a property tax exemption form, and you update them with that, and you're good. You're good to go. So I look at it like this. What did Bruce Lee say? Bruce Lee said, use any tactic that works. So if it's legal, yeah, do the land patent, or use the private trust. Kevin Picard, what's going on, Captain Picard? Always a pleasure. Hey, hit me up. Probably not this coming week, but in like maybe 2 weeks or so, I'll have you on the show and we'll talk about your adventures. And then we'll have you on the show as well. I did not forget. I just been busy, so I apologize for that. But yeah, jump in. I would love for you to learn it because I need it as soon as possible. I love Ron Gibson. Yeah, you can hit Ron Gibson up. You can call him or email him. I love him. He does get a lot of requests. And so he is on the slower side, nothing personal, just he's getting a little older. He's got a lot of work. There's also, if you go on Black Site 32, under my resource page, there's a student of Ron's, of Ron Gibson. I can't think of his name right now, but he goes by State National Help, and I think it's like .com/Badwolf, something like that. But there's a specific link on my website that you can use to go to him to do the same process. And if you mention me, he'll discount it. And he can do the process a little bit faster. And depending on where you are, apparently he has some processes that he knows how to do that he claims that are as good or better than Ron in some ways. So those are the only two people I know that I can vouch for at this point in time. Not saying other people aren't good. Just it is what it is. So I would say go and hit one of them up. But because by the time I get around to learning how to do it from him, plus a lot of those teachers too, they don't like to really give up the secrets, but you can get his book. I think I got his book and his other book. So it all should really be in his book. So you can buy it yourself and do it yourself if you really want to. Thinks to self, James drinking all that coffee, huge bladder. Yeah, I do have a large bladder, but actually it's just water in here. I almost never drink coffee. I think I've probably had 2 cups of coffee in my entire life at best. Now tea, I'll get down with some tea or purified water. Coconut water is actually probably my latest thing. I usually have a whole thing of coconut water somewhere. But So conflict of interest, color of law, or representing more time, or requesting more time. I want to thank you. Yes, yes, yes. But once again, not legal advice. Those are just some pieces to use. The problem is that, like I said, I can give you more pieces, but until you have a lot of this down, they're gonna, and mark my words, they're gonna try. Now, if it, depending on the court, let me say this correctly, depending on who you get and how they want to move, you could very well be successful with just that information right there. But some of them are going to be DICKs, and they're going to try to run over you because they try to run over me. I mean, literally, like, you guys don't even want to know, like, a separate thing on the financial aspect, like I was talking about earlier with my dad's stuff. They totally try to run over me. They were like, well, we're going to take this money out of your account. We're going to do this. We're going to do that for these reasons. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. You didn't serve me properly. You didn't present any contract with my name. You didn't verify the debt. There's no validation of it. There's only, if there was one, there'd only be one signature on there, which makes it a unilateral contract. You can't just do these things. And I said, but if you're going to, I'll sue you in federal court for 3 times what you took from me. Mysteriously, I got 2/3 of it back in my account today. Yes. And the remaining fee from the lawyer, like, I didn't hire you guys. Are you insane? You're going to bill me for something I didn't? What? So I'll deal with that. But I've got so many things going on. Sometimes I let some of these things slide now because I don't even have time. I am more focused on getting the information out to you guys than worried about how much they took from me. And it was not a small number, you know. But like I said, I got most of it back, so it is what it is. Okay. Hello, quick question. My car is broken at the moment. I was driving a friend's car, was pulled over and given a citation for no registration. How do I send that? Once again, that's one of those weird things where if you're using any of their information, but if you're telling me that you don't have registration, then same thing. Go to your state's, go to a search engine, Google or whatever, doesn't really matter. They're most of them are the same. And you're going to type in foreign registration, or yeah, in your case, because the vehicle would be domestic, you're going to look up foreign registration. Okay. Foreign vehicle registration, or foreign or non-resident registration. That's what I was looking for. Non-resident registration. Pull down your state's code for that, and you're going to send that into the court. All right. I would probably send one to at least the judge, the prosecutor, and the court clerk, and tell them, how are you going to give me a ticket for no registration when I'm operating as a non-resident? I don't have those things. You know, like I showed my code earlier in the code for Wisconsin. You know, every state has those codes. They might be called something a little bit differently or whatever else. But yeah, some of the information we just talked about, conflict of interest, challenging jurisdiction, you can do all that. Like I said, a good book is well, you weren't arrested, but a treatise on arrest is a good book. And there should be a number of files that I have on Blacksite for free, so you can use. The term to use is non-tangible victim, no crime. Yeah. Yep. Where's the crime? Show me, you know, like what they'll do sometimes is they'll say, you know, the state of Florida or the state of California against you. Okay. Well, does the state of California have a signed, written, notarized complaint against me? No. Okay. How much damage did I do by operating this vehicle with no registration? Those are the questions they don't want you asking. If you're going after me for a debt, well, then how much did I prove to me how much I costed the state? Bishop, what's going on? Became a new YouTube member. like I say, guys, every day this information is spreading, guys, and you guys are doing it. You guys are making it happening, and you guys are getting it. It's the emails I get every day is so on point. One lady was like, I got 6 charges dropped. One lady got her grandkids back. A couple of military guys told me they started learning this information, and it saved them. One guy got his whole case dropped, but they wanted him to pay the reduced fine. So let's see what else we got here. Be Happy says, thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate your help. Hey, I thank you guys for the support. I couldn't do this, without you guys. Hey, hit up Kai's channel right here. Another person that runs with the pack. Like I said, here's one thing about the wolf pack, guys. I want to make some things clear. A lot of people get this information misconstrued. I'm not the leader of the pack. We lead. Everybody who's in the audience right now who's pro Badwolf, we lead. We're running together. When I get tired, I lean back and you guys fill in. That's what we do. We're running together. You think all this information is just me? I don't get all of it myself. I get it from people in the comments section, and then I research it, or they research it and send it to me. There's people out in every department of government in the state. Some of them are employees who give me information that I put out there that they can share. Some of which maybe I can't put out in the public. But I bring you guys everything that I can, because I don't want me or you guys in any trouble. Also, do not send me anything that's considered confidential or above whatever. Nope. Would I love it? Yes, but no. Do not send it to me, because I do not want them. I don't want that type of love and attention. But yeah, support Kai's channel. Kai is also on YouTube, so support over there, please, and thank you in advance. Go check them out. Check out all the people I mentioned here. They are fire. And yes, Crazy Squirrel is correct. The state cannot be a victim. It's not a living being. How did I victimize you? Did I victimize you personally? Okay, show me the validation of that debt. How'd you guys come up with that number? Return to sender, refuse for fraud. Be Happy. I will be honest with you. I am still learning the whole land patent and allodial title. I'm still learning that, so I do not want to speak out of turn. I have not enough information. If you want to put it in the comments, break it down. I'll post it like this, but I am not so versed. If I do not feel 90 to 95% on my mark with the information, I do not share it. Because I don't know enough of it. What's going on, Jesse? Jason, a true blue leader. I see you. Appreciate you with that information. Always look to the light, look to the east, and always keep the light in your eyes. Keep your eyes on the prize as well. Is a FOIA necessary to include SS5, DS11? You can, but you know what they're doing? As I tell you guys, as we move, they move. So a lot of the responses to the FOIA about you being a U.S. citizen, they're now changing their wording, and they're saying, we cannot find information based on your request. They're no longer putting in the extra words that you are in fact not. So I recommend creating your own affidavit, getting it notarized. I think I made a video on creating your own certificate of non-citizen U.S. nationality and utilizing that. But remember, guys, even with the SS5 process, that is not mandatory. It's not required. You can do it. I'm just showing you guys things I've done. This does not mean that you have to do them to be a national or private person. You already have it. Yes, the Wolfpack is a team. That's the way it is. I'm not trying to lead any movement. You never heard me once say, we're going after them. We're doing this. I know it all. Me. No. We are a team. We are building we're not even really building our nation. The nation is already there. We're just trying to wake up those who seek further education and light and enlightenment in this. This is not for everybody. The hardest thing about the land patent is the title search, which can be thousands to have a company do instead. That is true. Joe's also a really awesome guy right here. Joe is somebody that you guys can reach out to on his YouTube channel. You can check out his information. I know him very well as a personal friend as well. And he likes to help people. So if he can, he will help you. So you can reach him on his YouTube channel, or else, which I think is just under Joel, right? Joel Ladner. And if he can help, he will. He's also a very good guy. Should a national non-resident represent themselves in court? So that's where one of the weird things is. This is some of the information I will address in our seminars, but to answer it, there's so many little games that they play. That's why it's hard to just say this, but the short version is if you cross the bar, they're assuming that you are a bar member or a public trustee or a attorney or a lawyer, somebody who's in their upper echelon. So you never want to really cross the swinging door. They'll try to get you to go past it. They'll say, if you don't come past here, if they say that, you got to go, well, I will do that on special appearance as long as I'm not waiving any of my rights. Because they want you to waive your rights to be one of them versus underneath the Constitution. Okay? But you can tell them that, but legally, the moment you tell them you're representing yourself, then really you should be in federal court. Okay, from my education, because the lower courts are for U.S. citizens, really. So you're actually representing your, well, you can't call it a straw man because they'll laugh at you. You got to call it a public transmitting utility, so issued by the state of whatever. They won't like that one either. They don't like that. An unrebutted affidavit or notice of conditional acceptance remains a truth in law. This is fact. Patrick is correct. Man, you guys are not throwing out like dumb questions or anything bad. Like, you guys are good. Like, I feel like we could all if we could team up and like have our own like little community, it'd be great. If you are a national, how can they make you do jury duty? They can't. That's why they summon you, which is witchcraft, by the all caps name. Or some of them are getting smarter. They're now doing it by the upper and lower, which is capitis medius. Okay. Poker King says Joel, I used to call him Joel. It helps if your land is part of the land grant from, say, Spain. Okay. Yeah, this is not an area where I'm fluent. I don't speak that. Or as Dr. Evil said in Austin Powers, hey, I don't speak freaky deaky Dutch, okay? No, I don't speak that. Nobody, no, that's really oh man. SL says they want you to go past the bar. Yeah, because you're then legally in their domain, their jurisdiction. See, when you guys go out to the courthouse, that room, especially past the bar, that bar means that you have crossed into their jurisdiction. That's not just a bar. That's why they all have them. You will never find one that does not have the bar there. I did research on the bar. It does not exactly stand for British Accreditation Registry. It's far back as I could find. It means the bar. Now, we think it still means that. That's literally what it is. But officially, that's not what it means. But anybody on this side where the people sit, that is considered the public. When you cross the bar, you're going into their jurisdiction, which is then considered the private, and they got you. Like right now, if I step 1 foot into Canada, other than the agreements our government has with them, I'm in another jurisdiction. Who are we at war with right now? Who doesn't like us? Like what, North Korea or Russia or one of those countries who hates us and we have no jurisdiction, no treaties? Yeah. That's basically what you're doing when you go into court and you walk past that swinging door. It ain't no innocent little door. It literally represents the inner cabin of the judge who's the ship's captain, maritime, on the water. Think about when you go onto a ship. Isn't that little door the same door that's on a maritime or a sailing ship? Right? Where do you think they got that from? That courtroom represents a ship in dry dock. Okay? And you are going into their personal cabin for a little fun time, meaning they can basically do whatever they want to do to you. You've waived your rights. You've gone in there. Mosley says you sound just like the villain in Austin Powers. Yeah. Hey, you know what, Mosley? That's inappropriate. I don't really care for that. No. Did you get the sharks like I wanted with the laser beams? No. Well, what did you get? Ill-tempered bass. Right. Okay. Yes, I watch a lot of TV when I get some downtime. I apologize in advance. Alter Ego, the Badwolf is coming out. Did you say that you have to do an affidavit declaring that you are not a U.S. citizen for court traffic? I would highly recommend you use your explanatory statement, your own affidavit, or get one, and declare yourself to be a non-resident of your particular state and get it notarized. Yes. See, you're not renouncing your straw man. You're telling them that you, as a living person, I'm not a resident. Your straw man is, but you're also not renouncing your U.S. citizenship. So you are able to then show the court or anybody else, look, I have an affidavit where I swore that I am not a resident of the state. Your claim, first in line, is first in time, as my cousin A6 says. They have to go by that. You are navigating a vessel in commerce. Yes, commerce is for commercial, which represents the sea. Commerce, sea, commercial. Yes, this is true. Crazy Squirrel's right. So I see that we are over 2 hours. I said I was only going to do this for 2 hours. I was going to keep it short and sweet for you guys. James, what is KY's YouTube title? Isn't it just KY's channel? I think KY, if you're still on, put your full title on there. I'll try to get to it. I believe it's just KY's channel. Like KY apostrophe S and then channel on, and then it's on YouTube. James, have you ever heard about using tacit jurisprudence against the utility companies who are installing smart meters without permission? Yeah, I have heard of that. And I have heard more people winning than not, but I have not broken down that piece of information. See, remember that there's a lot of law, public law, private law, family law, consumer law, so I just have not gotten to break down that particular piece of information. But yeah, I have heard of that. Can they take me to jail if I do not cross the bar? Well, they're going to try to threaten you. They're going to try to, that's why I said it's hard for me to prepare you for everything that they're going to try to do. But if you're standing on the other side and they go, well, you need to come up here, you can say, oh, no, I can hear you quite fine. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Right. Okay. Well, Your Honor, if I do cross the bar, will I be waiving any rights or liberties, anything like that? No? Okay. Well, then I will come up across understanding that this will be a special appearance then. But see, the problem is now you're talking smart. Now they're going to be a little bit different with how they deal with you. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of like if I pretend to be stupid and I walk into the courtroom, they're not going to know I'm the bad wolf and I know how to deal with them. But the moment I start talking smart, they're going to go, oh, we have wasn't it Ninja Turtles, the original ones? Oh, a fellow chucker, eh? They're going to be like, oh, you kind of know what's going on. Well, let's see how good your kung fu is, Miss Love or Lady Love. That's the problem. Their kung fu is Bruce Lee level, but demon. So that's the hard part. Yeah, it should. There's K. It should be just KY's channel, just as you see the name up there. Freaking sharks with freaking laser beams. So I'm going to run this about another 10 minutes, guys, maybe 15, and then we're going to call it. We came, we sang, we cheered, we went kumbaya. Matt C says, thanks, Wolf. Got to hit the hay. Yeah, I feel you. I'm getting tired and a little hungry myself. I'll throw you some love when I have some spare. Thanks. Yeah, like I said, guys, it's the little bits you guys do when you guys can is appreciated. You know, YouTube kicks in a little bit, even though they just reduced how much they pay out, so that sucks. But it is what it is. With everything together, I'm okay. So when you can, cool, hit me up. If you can't, I get it. Hit that like though. You know what I mean? There's more than one way to show support. It's not always about money. It shouldn't be. Matter of fact, if I could get away from all money whatsoever, I would. I would love to go back to just, you give me knowledge, I give you knowledge. Your time is worth my time. I help you build your house. You do my garden. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it really should be. You want this knowledge? Well, give me some tomatoes. Like, that's how it should be. Only greedy people out there who are sucking the D of the system are out here trying to scam and scalp people and take advantage of things like that. Like, it's sickening in all by all accounts. All right. Anna Von writes is another source. Yes, I will be honest. Like I said, I do not lie here on my channel. I have used some of her information. I have learned lots from her, some good, some bad. Some people like her and some people don't. You know, there's a number of people who would throw her under the bus. But according to other people, there's people right now on their channels throwing me under the bus. So no matter what you do, no matter how you move, somebody's going to not like you or whatever. So I tell people, use their information, vet it for yourself, be careful with it. And if you find it valuable and useful, then use it. I don't care if you get knowledge from the devil, use it. But make sure that it's not going to get you into any trouble. Carl Lentz, yes, he's also got some good information as well. I've used some of his stuff, and there's a lot of people who, use, other people's information as well. So that's the whole thing. Let's see who else we got here. Lots of people. Oh, here, hold on. Lots of people renouncing citizenship, that word meaning slavery, right? Yeah, so the word citizenship, if you break it down, at least the way other people have said this, and it kind of makes sense. Listen to the word. Citizenship. Maritime. You're on water. So you're citizen, city or citus means to belong to a state, to belong to an entity. And the Zen part is you have been conformed. So it's a citizenship. That's what it is. And that means you're looked at as somebody else's property or a public employee. So really, it's not the end of the world, but if you know how to use it, you can use it effectively. So we are considered commercial vessels by the government. So here's the weird part. We are considered commercial vessels by the states, the commercial part of each state, the state of Maine, the state of Maryland, the state of Texas, state of Arkansas. To them, we are considered vessels. They operate with the U.S.C, and that is correct. The government, I just found out recently, so even me, I thought they was kind of the, same thing. According to the GPO Styles Manual, the government does not operate, well, let me say this correctly. According to what I found in association with the GPO Manual, the government does not operate with the U.S.C, and they do not view us as vessels unless we use citizen stuff from the states to identify to them that we are vessels or U.S. citizens. they actually recognize us as natives of the several states. That's why I showed in the GPO manual earlier, you can type in GPO Styles Manual 2016, search through the document with the little hourglass window and a little search box, type in Texan, and it'll take you right to the nationality section, which is like 5.23. And it'll tell you the government actually recognizes us as natives of the several states, Native Americans, essentially. So there's a separation there, which is why the federal government does the passports with America on there. And then the states, they have U.S. citizen stuff, and you never see the word America on any of their stuff. Prove me wrong. Show me one police officer's car who's got America on there. All I know is I believe in the things that have America on it. Everything else is considered sketchy because the word "the United States" has 3 different jurisdictions. It is the Congress, the body of Congress is called the United States. The District of Columbia holds the United States Corporation. So that's also a definition of the United States, is it's a corporation under UCC 9-307, letter H. And then there's in the geographical sense, the United States of America, meaning the continental or the geographical. So if I don't see the word United States of America on there, that's subject. That's sketchy to me. I don't even know. I don't even know. So, but for those people who've never seen it, let's do it. Let's do it. Let me show you that real quick. Okay. There we go. Let me get to share screen or present. We'll go to the new tab. All right. All right. So here. Okay. So I'm going to type in location of the debtor. Oh, type. Okay. Hold on. Sorry. Location of the debtor. I'm going to type in Cornell Law EDU because I trust them for the most part. Oh, here, location of the debtor 9-307. So this is in a UCC. Okay, we're going to drop down to H. Okay, and what does this say right here? So underneath the location of the debtor, the location of the United States is located in the District of Columbia. Underneath the term location of the debtor. So all these debtors are located, including the zip codes, including the straw men, are in the District of Columbia. And is the District of Columbia one of the 50 states? Nope. Are they under the Constitution for the United States of America? Nope. So I don't know. You guys can do your own due diligence, do your own research. I'm not saying believe me. I just read the stuff. All right. So we got about 6 more minutes. And then I'm going to call it because I'm hungry and tired. I've had enough of my very long, when I can, I do consultations all day, until I get tired, and then I just have to call it. So like I said, I put people on the path, and what you guys do with it is for you guys. But I appreciate you guys. Dell Associates says, Wolf, do I use the I-10 in place of the social in the workplace or EIN? Okay. So if you want your employer to utilize your EIN for either taxable or tax exempt entities, yes, you can go to your HR department, tell them you want to update how you're paid because you want to be paid through your legal entity, and you would use your ITIN or your EIN, whatever it is. And yeah, they will do it. Most people just have never done these things, so they think, oh, can I do that? Yep, definitely can. Someone said, can you please provide a link to your website? It's just the information down below on the ticker here. It's blacksite32.com. So BLACK32.com. How do you obtain an automobile certificate of origin? You're going to have to try to contact the manufacturer, tell them that it was destroyed or lost, and see if they will print one. If they will not print one, in your letter, tell them if you cannot print one or you do not have one available, please respond with that information. Because then if they say they don't have one and it's been lost or destroyed, you now have a legal right to be able to create your own. I did long time ago have a website where you can get a replacement blank one, but that particular site was blown up by people getting them, and they got mad at me. I don't know. Why are people always getting mad at me? Like, I don't, with him or that site, all I was doing was putting money in their pocket. Maybe they didn't want the attention. I don't know. But then why do you have a YouTube or a website where you want attention to do what you're doing? I don't get it. It's like this. My last name is Lovett, right? Either you love it or you leave it. That's what they always called me. Either you're going to love me or you're going to leave me. That's pretty much it. And I'm okay either way. I prefer to love Spot, but yeah, people are always going to be mad at you for something. That's why I don't even bother with that. I do mine, and anybody who wants to run with me, let's run. Let's go. One speed. We don't leave anybody behind here. One speed. Let's go. Young Rice says, so the federal government is operating in the de jure capacity. So here's where it gets a little weird for me, and I'll just tell you what I know. I can't tell you how to move with this information. The federal government is, in fact, operating in our best interest to protect the Constitution, the nationals of America. Yes. But when they do anything commercial or as a corporation by the law, not my law, their law, then they are reduced to the same capacity as a corporation, which then they could be construed as is not a government, but a corporation, and they are subject to. So, yes, they have 90%. I don't even know how to say this correctly, so bear with me. They have 90 to 95% of our best interest at heart when it comes to defending us using the Constitution and the Supreme Court and the federal courts. But do they do some things that are not for us? Here's one of the things I found out recently too. When you have problems with the states or these courts, until you involve them, because according to the government, whoever wages, pay attention to what I'm going to say here, guys. I can't say this in but a better way. Okay. Whoever wages war on an American anywhere, foreign or domestic, is waging war against the Constitution and the federal government. That's all I'm going to say. So, but they cannot get involved until you bring them into it as a party on your behalf. For some people, the light bulb went on. Other people ponder on it for a while. Okay. All right, guys, we are there. We are there. All right, so 2.5 hours is, is my average. So I'm tired and I'm going to get some sleep. So thank you to all the supporters out there. Appreciate all of you wonderful people. I pray that and bless each and every one of you guys, that you guys have a great holiday season, great family. I hope that everything positive comes to you, and anybody against you, let them be destroyed. Let them be made your footstools. I hope you guys live long and prosper. All right. So with that being said, if you guys want to send your have a good nights and all that in the comments, we are going to close out. So once again, thank you guys. I will still try to do a live or whatever else at least once a month. Yeah. Okay. So to follow up with that, Brian Penn, yeah, the state stores the MCO and destroys the original. Yeah. They make a digital copy and then get rid of the master one. Well, once they destroy that MCO, from what I understand, then whoever owns the vehicle physically, which is physical possession of a material object, is 9/10 of the law. You have the ability to create your own. I don't know if I would necessarily call it an MCO, but I would maybe call it a master certificate or master document of ownership, something like that. You know what I mean? But you guys have a great night. Thank you for the support. We are right at 60,000. And like I said, I never expected the channel to get this far. I really was like, just wanted to, I really only intended to make probably about 4 or 5 videos on the passport and put it out there because I wanted to avoid the trolls. You know who you are. I wanted to avoid the AIs and the bots leaving, corn seal, what I'm saying, corn sites, adult corn sites on my things, and whatever else. I don't want any of that. That's why I keep the comments off most of the time, if not all the time. It's just not worth it. All I want you guys to do is check it out, either like it, love it, or leave it, and do your own thing. That's it. I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm not here to prove anything. This is my personal experience as a mortal going through life. This is what I've done. And if you don't like my life, well, then it is what it is. And if you like it, use it. And if it benefits you, even better. So you guys take care. Let's see. Yeah, I might make one more video next month doing another live. And then after that, I'll probably take a break for 2 or 3 months. I'll still be putting up videos. Probably won't go live after the next one for a little while. I'm going to start the seminar stuff. I'm going to start teaching you guys how to do the federal rules of civil procedure so you guys can take anybody to federal court and sue them. And I probably have like A6 and Floyd on there and a couple others who want to jump in on that. And we're going to teach you guys how to move. I got one guy who's been suing certain departments and winning across the board. He wants to get on here. So he's going to show you guys some of that info. So, oh yeah, we got more coming. All right. So, if you can't keep up, don't step up. But we're going to knock it out of the park for you guys and teach you guys how to be non-belligerent non-combatants, just how to do commerce, all the stuff they don't teach you in school and whatever else. So thank you guys. And remember this, lastly, stay healthy. Try to reduce your stress. Stay away from negative people. If you have somebody out there trying to, besmirch your image, don't give them no floor time. Don't give them no love. Don't let them have a place in your heart. Don't let them have a place in your life. You don't need any negativity. Do your best. Shine. You don't have to be perfect because you know what? Not everybody on the planet when Jesus was alive, whether you believe in that or not even everybody loved Jesus. So, and not everybody even loves God. So how do you expect to be loved by everybody? I'm not worried about that. I think it's hilarious. I'm one of the nicest people you would ever meet. But if you got a problem with me, it is what it is. I don't care. I'm not going to trip. That's you. That sounds like a you problem. So If you can forgive somebody, forgive them, but that doesn't mean you have to kick it with them. Keep stepping. Be better than you were yesterday and get everything that you can get. Take care of yourself, because nobody will take better care of you than you. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you later. Badwolf is out.